A thread by Pat Scopoliti. 9 December 2020. MAGA analysis. Pardon Flynn now. The question has always been innocence. What makes an innocent man plead guilty? There is a lie in America. The lie is that judges, courts, prosecutors are honest. They prosecute for justice, we're told. They do not. December 8th. Zoe Tillman tweeted, Michael Flynn's criminal case is officially over, but Judge Sullivan makes very clear that a presidential pardon does not mean that Flynn is innocent of the crime he pleaded guilty to twice. Pat continues, I certainly did not know how to interpret Obama's attack against Flynn on November 10th, 2016. I also had no idea how to deal with the transition itself. All of us who gave everything we had to the campaign had no clue what to do with victory. We hadn't thought about it. Not that we hadn't thought about victory, it was our every thought for months and months. We thought about nothing else. Inside that nothing else was what to do with victory once we had it. Not a clue, not a thought. Certainly I didn't. But I was still a political babe in the woods at the time. I'd only been volunteering in politics for about 6 months at the time. I knew the other side was evil, pure evil. That's why I got involved. I had no idea how that evil expressed itself in action. The evildoers knew precisely what they were doing. I apologize for the foul language. It is, however, a quote. First we fuck Flynn, then we fuck Trump. That was the plan. We know that now. We know that. And that matters. Please note that fuck does not mean prosecute. If someone is guilty, you prosecute them. You don't fuck them. You bring them to legal account for the wrongdoing they have done. Fucking someone does not require their guilt. Guilt has nothing to do with it. In her historic book, Sidney Powell explains how evil prosecutors brag and thrill to their conviction of innocent defendants. They count coups. They take scalps. No scalp is more valuable than an innocent man's. Link in the thread, Sidney Powell's book, Licensed to Lie, Amazon.com. We now know that they miscalculated over General Flynn. His innocence was known by an entire nation's worth of patriot supporters. I live in Virginia. We don't call ourselves a state, we are a commonwealth. This comes from the term the public weal, W-E-A-L. The public weal means common good, what is shared and beneficial for members of a given community. What the evildoers who imagined they could fuck Flynn failed to account for was not only his innocence, it was also the public knowledge of that innocence. It is never to the common good that an innocent man be convicted. Who are those evil souls who might wish such a horrible thing? They are often right called the swamp or the DC swamp, also the deep state. These are all correct. There is a better name, though, the cabal. They used to be called the Illuminati. They were described so, as they were believed to think that they alone had all the light. Lucifer in heaven was the angel of light. He fell to earth. The Illuminati were his servants. It was a good name. This is from Wikipedia. Quote, a cabal is a group of people who are united in some close design, usually to promote their private views or interests in an ideology, a state, or another community, often by intrigue, and usually unbeknownst to those who are outside their group. The use of this term usually carries negative connotations of political purpose, conspiracy, and secrecy. It can also refer to a secret plot or a clique, or it may be used as a verb to form a cabal or secretly conspire, end quote. Unlike you and I, The cabal never cares about actual guilt or innocence. They prefer innocent victims as it demonstrates their absolute power. The more innocent a victim is, the more his fucking validates their evil power. They love that. They love it with all they are. The basis of the cabal is lies. Their superpower is the access to soft minds they enjoy. Soft minds? Those who cannot tell truth from lies. Weak minds, for whom lies look like truth. There is a why. Why? For whom do lies look like truth ever? The answer is instant benefit. What is a political machine? It is an entity that, by holding power, gives out jobs. Lamplighters, street cleaners, garbage collectors, jobs. Paid by what? Tax dollars. Control over tax dollars, converted into jobs, is the basis of every political machine. Government jobs. What is the deep state? It is those millions of jobs the federal government grants that runs America by its powers of taxation and regulation. Millions of jobs. Millions. Try to imagine that. Millions of jobs. The cabal is their boss. They are its minions. Like me, you too have evil in your soul. I would love to have minions. So would you. Masters have minions. The cabal are the masters. The deep state are their minions. It can be good to be a minion. Look at Obama. He's a minion. I don't doubt that Obama rises high within the ranks of the cabal, not as high as his handler, Valerie Jarrett. She's top dog relative to Obama. He follows her will. He is her minion. That's okay. He's well paid. She lives in his house. How cool. But what about us, we mere voters in America? What about our voice, our will? What do we believe about General Flynn? We know that he's innocent, 100% innocent, and we care. Truth versus lies, innocent versus guilt, we care. And we are not minions. We are patriots. Some think the law is what's written in the books. Some think they can use the law for their evil purposes. Most often, anymore, they're right. They can. The law is merely a tool in the hands of the evildoer, evil over the innocent for their power, joy, and wealth. None of those idiots realize this. Law is what we the people, believe. Law is not what is written on paper. Law is what is written on our hearts. Where paper law condemns the innocent, heart law scoffs and rejects. Heart law exonerates the innocent. General Flynn is innocent. It was his innocence that led to his pardon. He was exonerated by a pardon of innocence. This is an historic thing. Check for yourself. No pardon of innocence has ever been granted in American history before. Go check. How did that happen? How did such a new thing occur? It is a critical question. How? How did it happen? There is a simple answer. A jury of your peers is only 12 souls. 12 as a jury is enough. However, here in social media, we have millions of jurors. It is we who determined General Flynn's innocence first. It is we who adjudicated his innocence first. General Flynn is not merely innocent, he is powerful. We know every major player on Earth. He has a global reputation. Pause. What is your reputation? Do your local friends know where you stand? General Flynn has a global reputation. Imagine that. It was General Flynn's global reputation that the cabal had to destroy. They failed. The cabal failed. How did that happen? You played your part. Please contemplate that. You signed on for the hashtag Pardon Flynn Now by a hashtag Pardon of Innocence. You did that. Millions of you. Many opposed. They wanted a complete exoneration by law, by the judge, etc. Here's what they never understood. Those exoneration proponents, they never recognized the corruption of the court or of the prosecution. Let's turn to the White House. What do they need? They needed to know that they had MAGA movement cover. If we failed to provide the White House cover, then the White House could not deliver what we wished. Politics, they matter. Our movement provided political cover. And here's Sullivan crying in his soup. Why? He never cared about innocence or guilt. Should he have to care about that, then his power is limited thereby. Limited power is not what a corrupt soul such as Sullivan signed on for. He signed on for pure power, unlimited. Why does the president enjoy such a vast power? It is a king's power, and in history, that's where it evolved. Why do we allow such a vast power in a new republic? There is a simple answer. Only the executive can employ mercy over justice. That principle matters. In this matter, our founders erred. They failed to imagine a judiciary so corrupt or a deep state so embedded that innocence might be prosecuted. They left pardon only for the guilty as an act of pure mercy. This mercy is lovely, but not sufficient. Mercy must include protection for the innocent. Imagine that it does not. Imagine that mercy requires your guilt, but couldn't care less about the truth or falsehood of your innocence. You're 100% innocent, but it doesn't matter. How about that? That is what General Flynn's pardon addresses for the first time in American history. It is a pardon of innocence. He is an innocent man. His prosecution was never merely that. It was a prosecution by power against the innocent. The cabal has risen. What has been their power? To prosecute the innocent, to make safe the guilty. This is not merely politics. It is the very rule over the swamp by its cabal that is at stake. This is our real war.